York's classic rock, Q1043.
All right, welcome back. It's Jonathan Clark in the studio with Stuart Murdoch, Stevie Jackson, of course, Belle and Sebastian. How are you guys?
Great, Jonathan.
Very
How
good.
Are you?
Great to have you here. Great to hear the Glaswegian accents here in New York City. I don't get that very often, but you have 3 new EPs, which is really cool. How to Solve Our Human Problems, parts 1, 2, and 3. They're on tour now. Tour dates at bellandsebastian.com. So you two introduced some movies last night?
Yeah, we did. What a treat for us.
So tell me about that. And it was some, what was the name of it? Something Graph Studio in New York City?
Metrograph Theatre on Ludlow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Beautiful. I walked in and gasped. It was so beautiful.
They knew we were coming into town, and they said, we got to get Stevie Jackson and Stuart Murdoch to introduce a couple of cool European 60s films.
Ah, so what films were they?
Well, I showed The Servant, which is a Dirk Bogarde, Harold Pinter, Joseph Losey film from 1963, the classic.
And from 1968, Stolen Kisses, which is my favourite Francois Truffaut film.
Ah, okay. So how long are these films? Were they are they each like 2 hours long or something, or?
Yeah, the people were there for the marathon, but we had a lovely dinner during the first film.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I was going to say if there were refreshments and
Well, we were multitasking. We were
victuals and libations. And...
Yeah, we were having a meeting with our matador at the same time.
Oh, okay. Have you guys, being from Scotland, have you seen The Darkest Hour or Dunkirk yet?
I saw Dunkirk on the plane on the way over, and the last scene. Well, no, I shouldn't give spoiler.
No spoilers.
Spoiler alert! But on the
Okay.
last scene, when the Spitfire lands on the beach, we were landing at Newark.
That's amazing.
Exactly the same time. So I enjoyed that film. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it at the IMAX, which is like a.
That's where I want to see it.
Yeah, it was incredible. The Darkest Hour, I'm looking forward to that when I get back. I think I'll go and see that.
It's amazing how much nostalgia. They say history, but I think it's just nostalgia just now for the age of empire and Britain's finest hour and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you have to know that stuff, but there's I'm with The Crown. There's a lot of nostalgia going on.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into The Crown yet, but that's like huge. Like everyone's talking about it on Netflix. Do you recommend it?
My wife recommends it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
recommend it.
And she's
okay.
American.
I've watched the whole thing. It's great.
Okay.
It's great television.
Has the band always had 7 members, or has it been smaller or bigger at certain points?
It was 6, then it was 7, then it was 8, then it was 7, then it was 8, then it was 7, then it was 6.
There you go.
Oh, wow. And today is almost like anything goes as far as how bands release music. And you've been together as a band for 20 years now. 20 years ago, you did a similar thing. You released a bunch of EPs, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything goes was the catchphrase for this bunch of recording. That's how we went into the studio. In terms of musical style, we just, let's make it wide. Let's do anything.
That was very astute of you. That's exactly what we said. We just sat around and went, anything goes.
Anything goes. And you used a bunch of different studios in Glasgow, where you are originally from, which is really kind of old school. I mean, I remember being in a band a long time ago, couple bands, and you finally get enough cash together to find any studio that will allow you to record there. And if the equipment works, you're like, all right, let's go in and, see what we can do in 2 days or 3 days and, record a song. So how did you guys decide on these studios? They're just...
Well, what you just described, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had, we were in studios, we were big and lush. I mean, we walked into one, which was an analog studio, and it was small, and I thought we'll be on top of each other in here. And I was like, that's where I want to record. It'll be great. And it was. That was at Green Door in Glasgow.
I want to hold up these album covers. We have parts 1 and 2 of How to Solve Our Human Problems. And I want to ask you, who are these people on the album covers? You have made them all famous.
Well, that was the idea, was to... I mean, those guys are basically... We said, who wants to be in a record cover? We put the call out. We got about 1,000 people came back. They all sent a picture. We just went through. We picked, we could have picked anyone because people are interesting.
Right.
They're interesting faces, and we met them in London, and we shot them all. 80 people in one day,
Wow. Okay.
and then we picked the ones for the sleeves.
Now, are any of these people in any of the videos for the first two songs, or just completely different?
That would have been that would have been pretty joined up.
Yeah.
But we went back to Glasgow and made the videos. We thought about trying to get them up for that, but it was a little bit too complicated.
The song "I'll Be Your Pilot," it's on the second EP. It's just so beautiful. And speaking of videos, the video for that song, the band's not even in that video, are they? Or are they?
No, it's no. It was kind of a little bit based on the Andy Warhol sort of
Sure.
portraits that he did in the 60s. Real slow and just looking at people and just having their personalities come out. But
And they do. They really do come out in that video. I like the pilot in that video. He's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
The guy in the uniform. He's got the long hair and everything.
I mean, I wrote the song and then they came up with him, and in my mind now, he is the pilot.
Yeah. Everyone go and watch that video. It's really cool. So, yeah, you got married in New York City.
We were just talking about that because we passed the building. It was
Where is the building? Where'd
City
you get-
Hall, just around the corner.
Oh, City Hall right down here. Yeah.
I was kind of dozing and I looked up and I said, I think I got married there 10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, because my wife's parents, Gladys was from Cuba, Benny was from Sicily. They met in New York City in the 60s, and they got married at City Hall. So we thought we'd do the same.
Oh, that's fantastic. So did you have the reception here and the party afterwards here in New York City afterwards as well? Or were you guys on tour or something?
No, it was a very in-out affair. We just had a couple of friends come down. They don't make a fuss. You're in and out of there very quickly. You just sign a paper.
Okay, next.
Exactly.
Right.
And then we went out on Brooklyn Bridge and took our pictures. And that was it.
Oh, that's great. Stuart, I want to ask you, where was it you asked Chrissy Hynde whether she knew if Ray Davies had ever heard the Pretenders version of Stop Your Sobbing?
Well, that would have been Top of the Pops, our first time on Top of the Pops, which is the famous UK TV show. It was our first time, so we were super excited. We weren't around those types of real rock stars very often, and I let myself down.
And it's listed as your finest moment on your bio. But what did she say?
I was married to him for 10 years.
I love Chrissy. She's fantastic. And are you a baseball fan?
I'm a baseball fan. I've kind of got the rest of the band into it a little bit. We go and see games sometimes.
Yes, Stuart has taken me several times.
Do you have a favorite team or teams?
No, but at the moment I just roll with whatever is going on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're Mets, aren't you? Or...
Well, I was going to politely.
Your wife's from here, so
yeah. I was going to politely and politically not mention the Mets since we're. Okay, I didn't want to pee
I'm
off.
a Mets fan.
Oh well,
so it's all good. I mean, in fact, the building you're in is the home of the Mets radio station.
Oh, that would be
WOR 710 AM on your dial.
Sorry about that.
I think we're fine. We're in the Met building. So.
Stevie, in your bio, it says you once bought Ronnie Wood a drink.
Yeah,
you had to pay for the drink.
Well, it's not quite. I didn't buy the drink, but it was actually slightly. We were at an awards thing. I think we've been at these things a couple of times, like twice in our career. We were actually at some kind of awards thing. I think it was like a. Oh, do you know what it was? It was If You're Feeling Sinister was college record of the year or something like that.
Oh, okay. Was it NME or the Brits?
Yeah. But I think it was actually American College Radio. But it was actually, but we're given the award in London. And I think it was some kind of publisher thing, MCPS or something. I can't remember. But I was like, oh my God, there's Ronnie Wood and there's Sir George Martin. And, I was just sitting there like, we're having dinner and there's a glass of wine. That's nice. And then the award started and there was no drink. There was no drink at all. I was starting to get
unacceptable.
It was very unacceptable. I was like, we can't get a drink. This is really, 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 really bad. And it was just like it was like an hour and a half past or something like that. Then one of the guys from Sony, he produced like a bottle of champagne from under the table. Right, okay. And I was like, Ronnie Wood's over there with no drink. So I just
the man needs a drink.
The man needs a drink. So I poured him a glass, and I went over and like, Ronnie, would you like a drink? And he went, oh, thanks very much. And I gave him a drink. And I looked in his eyes, and I could tell that he had his own stash of drink.
Of course he did. He's Ronnie Wood.
You know what I mean? He had
like a platinum flask inside that jacket.
I think he'd had a few. You know what I mean? And I just looked in his eyes, and I said, "Nice to meet you," and walked away. You know what I mean? I just could, it was just, that was enough. I gave him the drink.
Heard this story.
I gave him the drink, then a split.
Well, still, that's your brush with greatness right there.
Yeah.
I mean, but I heard a story about Ronnie where he was going into a party or like a Rolling Stone sort of thing, and he was getting out of a limo. Shocking. He was getting out of a limo, and completely, the hair, the clothes, everything like vintage faces or, mid-70s. But he literally got out of the car. He had to get a Stratocaster on his neck, a martini in his right hand, and a lit cigarette in his left hand. And he's getting out of the car that way, which I thought is, absolutely perfect.
That was, he was the real thing, he lived it. He lived it.
It would be great if you could say that's what our life was like all the time, but it's very rare.
Yeah,
that sort of thing happens.
No, just like holding a coffee and a bagel and getting out of a car. That's probably like my level.
Stevie, are you a Beatleologist, if a word exists?
Well, I guess so. I mean, like since the internet started, I mean, like there's far more extreme, people than me.
Do you have a fact that not many people might know about the Beatles?
Well, funnily enough, I gave one last night when I was introducing The Servant. It was the Joseph Losey film, and I was actually making a comparison to the Beatles because they're both 1963, and it's about things were on the cusp of change. And I said, look out for that scene where they're in a kind of coffee shop, and there's two priests having a conversation. One of them is Alan Owen, who wrote Hard Day's Night.
Whoa!
So that was that was.
Oh, the film.
Yeah. The film Hard Day's Night.
Right. So, that's pretty good.
That was a good Beatles fact.
It's Stuart and Stevie. The band is Belle and Sebastian. 3 new EPs, How to Solve Our Human Problems, are on tour now. All the tour dates at bellandsebastian.com. Do you want
another one?
I do want another one, yeah.
Right. Seeing, do you know Fairport Convention?
Yes.
Do you know this fact blew me away. On I think it's, is it What We Did in Our Holidays? There's a song called Mr. Lacey.
Okay.
Right. It's a fantastic song. But Mr. Lacey is written about this inventor, right? There's a kind of London guy. And the same guy is the guy, he's in Help. And he's like the gardener who plays the flute.
Crazy stuff.
During that's a good Beatle fact.
That is both of them are really good.
That's a good one.
You got to get a radio show, man.
Sorry,
you got to get like a Beatles show or something.
So sorry, that's
okay.
You did ask, and I couldn't let that one go.
I love that.
Okay. As you were, carry on.
I have to comment or bring up the fact that you covered the Waitress's Christmas Wrapping song over the holidays.
Yeah.
I guess that was for the BBC. Is that like the best Christmas song ever?
Yes.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, Bing or Frank comes close, but,
The Pogues comes pretty close, but I've always, Christmas Wrapping was always my one, yeah.
That's got to be so much fun to play, right?
You
guys were laughing and dancing, having so much fun.
Well, when somebody brought it up, when the idea of it sort of came up, we thought that's not possible, and then we thought, no, let's just get into it.
Got the horn section going. Yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. It is Belle and Sebastian with us. Are you all still based in Glasgow or spread around the world now?
We're very much based in Glasgow, yeah.
Okay.
We're spread around Glasgow.
But it's not a big city, so
Well, I'm going to hold up these fabulous EPs, which are fantastic. It's How to Solve Our Human Problems, parts 1, 2, and 3. 3 coming out shortly.
Yes, February, just a few weeks.
February, just a few weeks. And we certainly hope that you're going to be coming here to New York City to play a proper gig for us sometime this year. I hope so. I know you got Europe and the UK booked, but
I think can we announce it? Can we mention? No, we can't.
But we can't do it, but it's going to happen.
It's a raging certainty that
there's something's going to happen. Summertime.
I'm going to use that phrase, a raging certainty, from now on. Guys, thank you so much. Best of luck. Congratulations on all these new great songs and the videos, and we look forward to seeing you here soon.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.